definitely love this, surely. Have you started seeing this now? Virgin are starting plugging Virgin Galactic. I think it's something like 200,000 quid, and you'll get a chance to go in a space shuttle into space.
Carl, thoughts?
Going to space?
Wouldn't it be a fascinating experience to go into space and look back at the Earth?
I mean, at what point are you all meant to be happy? Do you know what I mean? You're floating about up there, and because you don't get out, do you?
What, you mean to do some duty-free shopping?
I'm just talking, you don't go floating about, do you? You stay in your seat.
Well, they probably let you move around on the shuttle.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about getting out. For me, when you go on
you want to
holiday...
get out into space?
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. When you go on holiday, the flight bit isn't the best bit of the holiday, is it? That's the bit you've got to do. So what I'm saying is you've got to stay on this and then you go back home. So you don't take luggage, right? I don't see the point.
Right, so you're there, you're sat in your own clothes for the whole time, same clothes the whole time.
But I don't understand what is the point.
I think it's the view. I think it's two things. I think it's the view and being able to be part of an exclusive club. I went into space. It's all that thing about man conquering nature, and you're one of that elite few that have managed to pop up, see the world from a distance that no one else can see it from, and then pop down.
All that way just for the view.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? I mean, there's a lot of other places I haven't seen anyway. Right, before I think about that, I think if you've done everywhere, I haven't been to Scotland yet, right?
Right, yeah.
I'm not being funny, but do you know what I mean? So just have a look in your back garden before you go looking in someone else's.
In space?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would make it a trip worthwhile for you? I mean, if you did go into space, if we gave it to you free of charge, we said, Carl, go up into
I know
space.
the answer. I know the answer to this, Steve. He's thinking, I'd like to meet some aliens that can talk like I do, and I can understand them, and they can tell me something. Like what? Oh, they met God, he was all right. That's the sort of thing, that's what he's going to say. He'd like them to look like monkeys in spacesuits.
Yeah.
That would be his ideal thing. He'd like to go to the planet of the apes. He would love to go to the... Look, he's nodding. He's nodding. Thoughts, Carl?
Well, yeah, that'd be brilliant.
What would be brilliant?
Seeing a little alien, having a chat with him, find out what's been going on.
What's been going on?
No. But don't you think that... Like, I mean, if you bought me that as a present, right, either of you, I wouldn't be that happy. For me, that's a little bit like...
Well, that's annoying, because we've got you a trip to space and a goat.
Yeah.
Do you know how, like, I am interested in sort of going on another planet, right?
Carl, you are on another planet, mate.
No, but do you know what I mean? It would be quite sort of interesting.
How do you think you'd get there?
Well, yeah, you'd go on a rocket and stuff, but what I'm saying is, at least you know when you get there, you're getting out, you're having a bit of a wander. But I wouldn't be happy in just the journey bit of it, that's what I'm saying.
That's great, isn't it?
But the thing is, right, because I was looking into it a bit, because I was reading about the Virgin Atlantic thing, right? And I was reading something that in 1971, right, 3 of them went up there. There was one bloke in the rocket, right? The other 2 wandered off, had a walkabout, seeing what rocks I can find. And that bloke who was in the rocket, right, he was the loneliest man ever in the world.
I don't know what to do. What that was. I don't know what to do. I don't know if that's some sort of profound poetry, or I don't. Do you know what I think he's trying to say? He's trying to say he was, by definition, a human furthest away from all other human contact.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, okay. No, you said loneliest. Loneliest evokes an emotion.
Yeah. But it's like he started crying and writing poetry and listening to Morrissey records.
But what I was thinking is, do you think when he got up in the morning, he still bothered to put his clothes on?
That's the first thing that came into your mind.
No,
when
just
you
because
pictured him
I always, at the end of the day, even if, like, my girlfriend Suzanne's out at work and that, I'm not happy walking about with everything out, because you never know what's going to happen. I just mean, you never know if someone's going to turn up.
No, I don't like what I don't like. No, I always pop some pants on or a towel, even if I'm alone.
Not always. Because I've knocked on your door when you've been stood there with...
No, he's taking his trousers off.
No, I did it especially, knowing that you were there. I've done it especially to annoy you.
Right.
Yeah, so...
But do you know what I mean? Do you think he was walking about the rocket with his tackle out? Or did he go, well, no one's watching here?
Do you
know what I
reckon
mean?
it floats up or down?
Well, if you are the man who was up in a space rocket and was for a short period the loneliest man in the world, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear what you did with your time, how lonely you felt, and also
Lonely?
did you float around with your cock and balls out, Carl? If you could have a superpower like Superman, what would your superpower be?
Can I suggest consciousness?
Yeah.
Can I have the power of thought?
Remember, you've already got opposable thumbs. So cross that one off the list.
Oh, go on, Carl.
There are so many to choose from. Telepathy, X-ray vision.
Flight, invisibility,
Choose it wisely.
strength, intelligence.
But why have I been picked?
Oh, for God's sake!
No, but I'm just saying.
It's Rob's question
No,
for
no,
you.
But I'd just say, does anyone else want this? Or, do you know what I mean?
Oh,
No,
what do you
because-
wish you
no,
could do that's
no,
impossible is
because-
the question.
no, because-
or out of... What? What do you mean?
Because with that comes a responsibility. Is what
With
I'm saying.
enormous power does come great responsibility.
So, would you like Spidey senses? Is that what you're saying?
Come on, Carl. You know what these superheroes because they can.
I know, but it
they can
always
freeze things.
They're never
they-
happy, are they? Do you know what I mean? Spider-Man that wanted to tell that girl that he could climb walls and that. He's like, I can't. Superman never told Lewis and that.
Who's Lewis? Who's Lewis?
Lewis.
Who's Lewis?
It's just a pen pal, Superman.
Lewis! His little secret chum! Yeah. All right, Superman. Hello, Lewis. What are you doing? Superman. Who are you? I can't tell you, Lewis. Brilliant.
You know, Hulk, he wasn't happy.
Oh, he wasn't happy. It's true. He's got a theme. He has got a theme. There's not many happy superheroes, are
But
there?
leaving aside the superheroes you're already aware of,
Yeah.
what superpower would you want? You don't have to fight crime with it, Carl. Let me remind you of some of the other things. Invisibility.
All the time, though, or can I sort of turn that on and off?
Let's say you could turn it on and off. Would that interest you?
Yeah. I'll have that.
Right. Okay, and what would you do with this power of invisibility?
Just sort of wander about and that, just not get seen.
It's a brilliant power. It's a brilliant. And it's put to such brilliant use. It's brilliant. Well done.
And why would you want to walk around and not be seen in that? What would you gain from that?
Don't know. You could sort of go in shops when they're shut, so you don't have to go. with
How would
the
you get
crowds.
in?
Just get in just before they lock up.
Oh yeah. How would you get out?
Wait till the morning.
Brilliant.
So hang on. So that's your use of invisibility. They found the power of invisibility. You want to sneak into. Never mind. No, hang on. You want to sneak into HMV, right? Wait for 12 hours and then buy something
I love it.
just so that you don't have to be in there with other people.
Do you know what? I don't want it. I don't want a power
Why not?
because I just don't think it'll do me any good. I think it's more of a hindrance.
I love this. It's like, just think of his presents. We've given you a trip into space, and the chance to be invisible.
Not happy with any of them.
Yeah. What he wants is a voucher for HMV.
Yeah. He just wants some tokens for a record shop. Just going through a few more of these emails. This one's from Kent from Nova Scotia, Canada. He says, Carl, he's wondering if you've got any personal mantras that you could pass along. For instance, he reminds us of Ben Franklin's famous mantra, waste not, want not.
Who said that?
Ben Franklin.
What was he? What did he do? What was his job?
Benjamin Franklin was a well-respected American politician from the 1800s. He was a sort of thinker, a philosopher, a
experiments.
scientist, deeply respected.
He's
Also
on
a big
money.
political figure. He features on
He's
the
on a
dollar bill, or
yeah.
$10 bill or something.
Yeah.
So he's one of the great sort of American Enlightenment thinkers. And he came up with the mantra, waste not, want not.
You must know waste not, want not. I mean, that's just...
Do you
I-
understand the phrase waste not, want not?
No, not really. No. What does it mean? I've never used it.
It's like, don't throw stuff away because you might need it, and therefore you won't be wanting anything because you didn't throw it away.
So he was a bit of a
Well,
hoarder.
if you don't waste food, for instance, then you
He's a
won't...
bit of a hoarder.
For God's sake.
No, but I'm just saying, you know, he's a man in power. Is that the best thing he ever said?
No, I'm sure he came up with many, many profound
So
things.
why is that one
He did
remembered?
experiments in electricity and conducting electricity, all sorts.
But that impresses me more invented electricity, then someone...
He didn't invent electricity.
Wait a minute! Didn't impress you more than what?
Just saying, well, it's not want not. I don't think it's that good. It's not even catchy.
How would you word it?
I'd just say, whoa, don't be chucking that out. You might need that later.
Don't be chucking that out. You might need that later. Karl Pilkington.
Jonathan Ross gave you a cat as a replacement for your cat which died. Now, to me, that's an inappropriate gift.
Why? It's a lovely gift.
You should be. I don't think people should be giving pets as gifts.
Do you know what I've got in there for
Imagine
his
turning
birthday?
up to a wedding with I just bought you a cat.
Do you know what I've got him for his birthday? I've got him as child.
Well, you may as well,
I've got
because
him
that's
as-
what it's like. A
got
cat
him
to
as-
me.
I've got a small Rwandan
A
child.
cat to me is like I bought you this small child. I was going to sponsor him, but I got a bit of cash. I've flown him over. It's too intimate. It's like it's too much responsibility.
Do you know what I think, Karl?
Go on.
I think Steve's a bit jealous.
I'll tell you, I got good reason to be jealous.
What?
I got good reason to be jealous. I just remembered this. Your birthday.
Yeah.
Jonathan Ross was there. Karl Pilkington was there.
Yeah.
I don't remember being invited. I don't remember being invited. Was I there, Karl? You were there. I don't remember being
Yeah,
there.
but you're with him all day and that.
Right,
So-
okay, well, yeah, but he sees you a lot. I mean, Jonathan, he's round his house every other day playing tennis, and who else knows what, swimming together and sat in his jacuzzi, cracking wise. What happened there? What happened there?
Oh, we've got to the bottom of it. Play a
The
record.
villa that we went to afterwards
Yeah.
could only
It
sleep
may as well
six.
have been. How is the cat, alright? What's your name? Jonathan?
Ollie. Hey ya. Outcast, XFM, 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. It's that time, isn't it? Rockbusters.
Whee!
Come on, Karl, what you got for us?
All right, well, do you want to say what the prizes
Actually,
are?
the
or
prizes
we
are
just get
back this
away in
week.
that?
Really?
We've got.
I'll be the judge of that.
Actually, what am I talking about? No, there's a 2-disc set, Rock and Roll Legends, on the cover there. We've got Buddy Holly, Elvis, Roy Orbison, and Little Richard. So
No
that's-
one wants that, baby.
Nobody's interested. Nick Cave and the Bounceys, a DVD. I'm a Nick Cave fan and I wouldn't watch it.
No, you'd watch it once
Yeah,
at most
at
when
best.
there's nothing else.
Knowing Me, Knowing You.
No,
that's-
I mean, Nick Cave's good, but when do you watch rock
Exactly.
DVDs?
I
Yeah.
know. Knowing Me, Knowing You, a great series obviously, but once again on
VHS.
VHS. Who wants it on VHS?
Yeah.
Where are all the bonus features?
Absolute pointless
The
so
only thing
far.
that's half decent is this enormous hardback League of Gentlemen book, which is the scripts and all sorts of other stuff. If you're a League of Gentlemen fan, you'll love it. If you're not, I guess it's a good Christmas
If
gift.
you're not a League of Gentlemen, there's nothing in this for you.
No, exactly.
So,
So, you know, you can either enter for the hell of it.
a pile of rubbish. What's the well, not as bad as the competition, I suppose. So, go
Right,
on.
well, you know how it works. Cryptic clue.
It's not really cryptic. It's
No.
usually wrong.
Kind of is.
Yeah.
Right, so the first one, there's 3 of them. You get them right, you win the stuff. First one,
I'll get him close. I mean, 'cause you could win this if you got one right, possibly.
if you go to Chepstow, you will.
Was that a clue or is that a point? Is that something?
That's a clue.
Right.
All
Say
right?
it again.
If you go to Chepstow, you will.
And what are the initials?
Just S.
Just S.
Right. Second one, E.T. is upset. What's up with him? Alright. E.T. is upset. What's it upset for? What's wrong with him? Right.
Different. So not cryptic. So go on.
M.E. The initials there.
N-E?
M.
M-E.
M for mother. M.E. Alright. And the third one, I had a tape with,
Jesus. Imagine Bob Holness doing this against in the gold run
I know.
against the clock. Right. I had a tape. No, I had a tape with some.
listen, I had a tape with like Humpty Dumpty on it, and Hickory Dickory Dock and that on it, but I broke it. Alright?
Constantly listening it to try to figure them out.
Trying to solve the crime.
Exactly.
Who pushed Humpty?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
initials there, B.R. Right? So, first one, if you go to Chepstow, you will. The initial S. E.T.'s upset. What's up with him? Right, what's up with E.T.?
I don't know.
What's up with E.T.? E.T.'s upset. What's up with E.T.?
Yeah. The initials there, M-E, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Let's go through that one more time.
Yeah.
If you go to Chepstow,
They're
you
like
might.
jazz questions.
Yeah, exactly.
Just free form.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. E.T.'s a bit upset. What's that? What? Hey, dude, what's the matter, man?
And I had a tape with like Humpty Dumpty on it, Hickory Dickory Dock, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Doesn't work anymore. What's gone on there? Right?
What's gone on there?
B.R.
First time we said, well, you broke it.
Well, I broke it then.
Is
Yeah,
that
doesn't
important or not?
Yeah. I broke it.
And you say it's B?
BR.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, well, you can text if you have a mobile phone. So everyone, and there's no excuse to not take part. 83XFM is the text, 83XFM, or the phone number. No, we're not doing the phone, obviously. We
I think I
don't
know what the B might stand for.
And otherwise it's ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. We'd love to hear from you.
Oh, it just sucks the lifeblood out of me,
does, doesn't it?
just listening to Rockbusters.
Something to bring you down even further, although it's a beautiful, beautiful tune.
Oh, beautiful.
Ryan Adams has got a number of different albums out at the moment. One is called Rock and Roll. It's not great. Don't really bother with that one. Do dig out, though, Love is Hell Part 1 from Ryan Adams. It's available at different places, and you'll find this on it. Track 5, Wonderwall. His version of Oasis is
Absolutely
wonderful.
beautiful, isn't it?
It's a treat. XFM 104.9.
Yeah.
Rockbusters.
Yeah, they'd be loving this, right? 3 clues were, first one, if you go to Chepstow you will, right? The initial was S, that was sea horses. Alright, that was the answer there.
I'll give you that.
That's
Fair
fair enough.
I'll give you that.
E.T.'s upset, what's wrong with E.T.? What's wrong with him?
Yeah, right.
Initials M.E.
Yeah.
What's up with him? He was Missy Elliott. Alright, Elliott.
Doesn't count at all.
What?
Doesn't count at all.
Missy Elliott. You know what I mean? What's wrong with you?
What is that with him?
No, well, just let him explain it. Sorry, Carl, do it again. Well, I wasn't listening. Do it again.
Elliott, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's in E.T.?
Yeah, I'll just do the clue again.
Right. E.T.'s upset. Well,
Yeah.
so he's looking a bit sad and that. What's
What,
up with
E.T.
him?
the extraterrestrial?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Right. And his mate,
Yeah,
who's in it's called Elliot.
yeah.
Right. He's upset. What's up with him? Well, he's Missy Elliott.
Missy Elliott, what's she got to do with it, though? I don't understand.
No. The way you'd say it, you say, what's up, E.T.? And it'd go, oh, Missy Elliott.
Why would he
Missing.
mention her? I don't understand. Was it a thing in the film?
Missing.
She wasn't even around.
Oh, missing?
Oh, Missing Elliott. Oh, no,
Oh, that
no.
makes sense, Carl, but
No,
her
no,
name,
no,
she's not
no,
called
no,
Missing
no,
Elliott.
it's meant to be about
Cryptic,
rock
that's
stars,
what I
though,
always
isn't it?
say.
Missing Elliott, isn't it? So it's meant to be about rock stars, isn't it?
It's
though?
just cryptic, though, isn't it? Cryptic clues. And
Oh, no, that's not cryptic. That's shit. You.
Right, the third one. I had a tape, and it had Humpty Dumpty on it, and
I love when he says Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah.
Humpty Dumpty.
Hickory Dickory Dock and that.
Yeah.
But the tapes broke.
Yeah.
That was BR. Buster Rhymes.
Say that again, I dozed off.
Sorry, I don't understand. What do you mean?
Who's the winner, Steve?
No, it doesn't. No, do you mean busted?
Buster. Well, it's kind of like that. Cryptic.
No, it's not. No, cryptic doesn't mean change it, so it's not the same.
Steve, who's the winner? We got loads of right answers, so.
It's interesting, this email
weird,
system,
isn't
it flashes up suspected spam. If it, you know, spam is that stuff
Yeah,
that
yeah.
gets sent around the internet.
Yeah.
And it flashes that up if it thinks it's, going to be a spam email. And every time it comes in with a Rockbusters answer, it just says suspected spam. In a sense. In a
Fortune faded Red Hot Chili Peppers on XFM 104.9.
You, of course, don't ever take the tube anywhere, Rick.
No.
You haven't done that for years.
No.
Take cars everywhere, or you walk.
Mm.
Or you get a lift from Jonathan. But me, I'm still forced to take the tube, which is also very embarrassing at the moment because
You're
those
not forced to
posters.
take the tube, are you?
I am.
What do you mean you're
What am I,
forced
made of money?
Well, you could
How else am I
walk.
going to get about?
You could walk.
What?
You can drive. Why don't you buy a car?
Oh yeah, driving into the centre of town? Congestion charge, are you paying that? Are you a fiver?
What do you think of that, Carl? Hey?
Oh yeah, because he's Mr. Flush. He's Mr. Lavish with his cash.
No,
Can't
I've
focus.
moved in close. I know. I'm not moaning about it. I walk everywhere now.
Well, good.
Yeah.
I'm
Something
pleased
about
for
it.
you.
Yeah.
I'm
I
pleased for
moaned
you.
about it, but then I sorted it out.
But you're
Yeah.
always whinging anyway. Let's not get on to you, Carl. It's always you,
same.
you.
Yeah.
So,
What's up with Steve today, do you think, Carl?
I don't know what's going on.
He's having a go, isn't he?
it's not helping those posters being on the tube of us. That's not helping. I don't know if you've seen those posters. You obviously don't go.
I
You've seen them, Carl?
saw the, yeah. I haven't
It's
seen it
like-
on the tube, but,
Everywhere I go, I'm stood next to one. I can't avoid it.
Yeah.
I'm on the tube waiting. I look around. I go, oh, it's us again. And it's so embarrassing
Well,
because it looks like you're stood next to it deliberately.
but I can't browse in HMV now. I went
Yeah.
last week, and you keep coming up to pictures or cardboard cutouts of
Yeah.
Brent, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I was in a bookshop, and I was looking at, there's a big almanac of comedy, right? And I was just looking through it, just browsing, right, killing time. And there was a picture of me, and just as I started looking at this write-up of the office, a tap on the shoulder, it was one of the words there, said, "Do you mind signing some script books?" So she saw me looking at myself.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go, I just turned to that page then.
Yeah, I was in a bookshop looking, there was a big book on sitcoms, it was like the A to Z of sitcoms or something like that, and I genuinely was looking up other shows, because it was about other comedy shows.
Yeah.
And I was looking something up, guy that I knew came up to me, like that, and I just started like, just looking, Robin's Nest, where's that? Birds of a Feather, I just got to... Because it's like, I'm interested in comedy before the fact I got in comedy, so I will buy a book on comedy.
Exactly, yeah.
But on the tube, it's really awkward, because it's like, it's everywhere I walk, they're kind of round the corner, so you don't sort of expect them. And then I'm sort of running now from kind of corridor to corridor, pillar to pillar, to avoid being stood next to this picture, in case I look like someone who stands next to his picture, trying to get recognised.
Imagine that! Of course, Carl didn't want his little round bald head on that.
Yeah. But I was on the tube today, and sometimes you can't help but overhear a conversation.
Yeah.
And this woman, there were two friends, they were sat there, and one woman said, she just said, I must tell you this. I was in the pub last night, and Dave called, and I said, Dave, he said, I can't hear you. I said, Dave, it's not, he said, I can't hear you. So I held the phone up so he could hear all the noise in the pub.
That was it?
That was the anecdote. That was the story. And I wanted to lean over to her friend and say, unless this woman has given you a kidney or saved you from drowning, do not be friends with her. Break up this friendship.
She hasn't got anecdotes.
Because what's that? And I've got acquaintances like that where you speak to me, get cornered at a party, this is the person who has not got anecdotes. The anecdotes, they're not stories. That's it. It's like you're expecting for something else to happen. Never does.
Well, I was with Danny Baker yesterday.
Oh yeah.
He's brilliant bloke. First time I met him, and we got on like a house on fire.
Put his number straight in your mobile.
Well, we've exchanged numbers because he's got some great anecdotes.
You had to delete mine because you only got so many.
I might write with him because he's funny. He did this thing and it was absolutely brilliant. He's doing he wrote a documentary, and he's a great guy. He's funny as well. You know what I mean?
It's this. I tell you what, it's the showbiz friendship. That's what I loathe. I think it's the fact that like somehow. You're sort of, because it's like you haven't got to go through the formalities of making friends with someone, because I respect your work, you respect mine, I'm a funny guy, you've seen my work, let's be friends, of course. And it's like, it's a horrible, kind of icky sort of...
Listen, Steve, me and you are going to stay in touch, whatever. So, I mean, probably not my birthday this year, but next year, we'd have known each other, 7, 8 years? Yeah. So, come to that one.
Yeah.
Well,
do I need to wear the waiter's outfit again?
Oh God! Oh dear!
It's not so much that I appreciate the fact that there is a gift. I think it's the fact that the gifts are arbitrary and can be bought in the shop that's opposite the place he works.
Tell Carl what you got your mum for this. Well, listen to this, Carl. You'll love this.
Right, it's the thought that counts, right? So I suppose if you say that the thought that counts is the fact that he went and got anything at all, that counts. Okay, fair enough. But he phoned me up. He said, "What shall I get your mother?" Right? It's our 20th wedding anniversary, right? What shall I get her? I said, well, I'll tell you this is a great idea I'd heard from somewhere else. Why not get pay for her to have a makeover, and all this sort of treatment, and the beauty treatment and that. She'll love that, and then take her out, give her a meal and stuff. He went, okay. So he hangs up. I speak to him on the day of my mum's birthday. I say, what'd you get? He said, I got something. I said, do you go for the makeover idea? He went, not exactly. I went, what'd you do? He went, I bought her a trowel. A trowel. I went, a trowel? He went, yeah, for the garden. I went, it's a trowel. You've been married 20 years and you got her a trowel. He went, it's stainless steel. I said to him, it's a trowel, Dad. And he went, do you think I should have got it engraved? It is mental. And I went down to see them, right? And I went in the lounge and literally, imagine it, like, it wasn't this, but imagine, I got in there, he'd bought this trowel, right? And he'd also bought her an industrial-sized tin of coffee. You know those big size ones you have in like hotels.
Did he say she loves coffee, Steve?
She loves coffee, Steve. He said.
I love the fact that that's meant to be like the whole family use it. Like she keeps that by her bed.
Yeah.
Like she's in Stalag 13 or something. This is my coffee.
But imagine walking into the lounge, right? She's there. She's got the presents that my sister's bought and that. A trowel, just holding a trowel and a tin of coffee. And me walking in wondering, I wonder if there's anything sort of that she regrets in her life. Mental.
Oh, that's lovely. She loves coffee, Steve.
She loves coffee, Steve.
Oh.
She loves the garden.
Carl, what's the worst present you've ever had?
You see, we don't really celebrate birthdays in our house, so...
What? Where are
you from? What planet are you? What do you mean you don't celebrate birthdays?
Are you here from another world observing? Like, trying to blend in, but not quite managing to pull it off.
Not that fussed about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
My mum and dad's are on the same day, and I think that just was like,
That's a bit weird, isn't it?
on their anniversary, and
Well, they got married on their mutual birthday.
But Carl, can I just... I mean,
and Christmas.
But Carl, there's a difference between you saying...
What do you
we
mean their
don't-
anniversary's on the same day? Of course it's on the same day.
yeah, and the birthdays.
But, Carl, what I mean is that... you say that you don't really celebrate your birthday, but presumably you have received some presents at some point in your life from your parents. Or anyone.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll come back to you later.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Let's play a record.
Carl, have a think about that, and we'll come back to you later. Thanks very much.
Ash and Sometimes they've won me over.
They have indeed, yeah.
They've just got they've got to be the band they always wanted to be. I
I'd
think.
have written them off in the early days, but no. they've
Me
really grown
too,
into themselves.
Steve. Just goes to show. Go on.
Carl, any thoughts on what gift you've perhaps once received that you can joke about now, but was tragic at the time? No?
No.
Not really
like I
put the
say,
thought in then?
Didn't have that many presents, so...
Always
the
thankful
ones
for
I
what
did
you
get,
got.
I was grateful for.
Yeah.
Rick, would you love to hear from the listeners if maybe they've received some amusing gifts?
No.
No, I wouldn't. Really.
So what are you doing tonight? You going out for a little meal with your parents?
Yeah, I thought you were coming.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah.
Any
no.
suggestions as to where we could go? I mean, maybe people would like to phone in because I've got no idea. It's got to be largely meat-based. A fella will only really eat meat.
Do you know the steakhouse near me? It's closed down.
Brilliant. That's one. There's lots more to go. Let's not stop there,
It
people.
just
Come
looked-
on.
I used to look across and think, is that a bingo hall
I know. It's
or
bright.
somewhere to eat? Yeah, neon. There's at the back. Right at the back had cocktails, and you know, just imagine.
Who's in there for a cocktail?
You know, imagine you going in there with a DJ sitting there.
ladies.
Hi. Be fantastic. Go on. Carl's got something to say. I can tell. What?
Is there a chance that your dad's like on the way into London now and has heard you saying, "Oh,
Yeah.
he got me this and he got me that," and he could be like nipping to a shop now to buy you a rake and thought,
Yeah. Yeah. Just think of that. Oh, that'd be terrible, wouldn't it? Or the making of the Bends.
Yeah, he'll probably turn up and say, I was going to get you a gift, Steve, but then I got high. And we'll all laugh. It's a cultural reference.
Yeah. Right. This link has run out of steam again.
Yes, but don't worry, because I can salvage it.
Go on.
Because it's time for Under the Covers. Cover me up. Oh, you got me
Between the
covered.
covers.
Between the covers. I like covers. Cover songs.
Yeah.
And
This was done by someone else.
And it was this week I'd like to play I mean, we're all fans of Destiny's Child, Rick, and we're all fans of the song Say My Name.
Yeah.
But have any of us heard the Scottish band Spare Snare doing their version of it? I suspect not. Let's hear it now.
Oh.
Spare Snare doing their version of Say My Name by Destiny's Child. Rick, what do you make of it?
Do you remember Raw Sex that
I
used to be
don't think I
in
do.
French and Saunders? Was Roller River on as well? Yeah.
Is that basically what it's like?
It's a bit like that.
Do you
yeah.
think maybe the cover version section's running out of steam? If that's what we're playing.
I think we should only ever do sort of 6 weeks a year on radio,
Right.
and then you know.
Yeah, and people will kind of remember that. It'll be beautifully preserved in their memories.
Yeah, you know, like
Like,
Benny Hill used to do one show a year.
Right.
You know what I mean? Imagine how awful it'd been if he'd like do it every week for 2 hours. I don't think he'd have been so successful, to be honest, Steve. I think he'd run out of ideas.
Rick, I know that you are tired of coming in every Saturday and doing the show. I know I am, and I suspect many of the listeners are. But maybe we should leave it to the listeners. You know, if they want us off the air, maybe they should just email, fax, phone in.
That'd be. I think everything should be like that, though. Vote whether you want to, you know, like a binary sort, like you know, up against someone knocks like Winner Stays On in pool.
Yeah.
I hate that Winner Stays On in pool in pubs. Like, it's just
I hate
horrible,
it.
fascist, isn't it? You want to play with your mates. You don't want to
Exactly.
have to beat a bloke with one tooth who just
Yeah.
plays pool all day.
Yeah.
Costs him nothing, and he has 93 games. Of course, you're not going to beat him. He's a professional by the end of the evening.
Okay.
XFM 104.9.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
For Hero by Les Fleur. Great bloke, Les.
Yeah.
Worked with him in Blackpool. Weird. Had very high voice. Can't grow a beard.
Yes.
But, yeah. I'm joshing.
course
Probably
you are.
pronounced Les Fleur, innit?
Le Fleur.
Yeah. We know
oui.
that. Oh,
Très
we
bien,
know
très
that. We
bien.
know that. We know
You
that.
noticed all those huge posters advertising Christian O'Connell's breakfast show? They're all over the place now. They're mainly on the tube. You wouldn't know, Gervais.
No.
What with your driver and everything. Imagine if they'd spent the kind of money they must have spent on those advertising our show.
I know.
And those people were tuning in, and today's show is what they heard.
I was actually thinking, right, because we do care in a way. We couldn't get over it today, you know. Just to word to the kids, this is what alcohol can do to you.
Yeah, it's a sobering lesson.
Yeah, it is, yeah. But I thought, what if this was our first ever attempt at radio? Think how gutted we'd be. We'd go, we're not
What
right.
worries me is it's like, I don't know, it's like in my sort of hangover state, it's like I've kind of woken from a dream, and I've sort of thought to myself, all the stuff we're saying today is what we normally say week in, week out, and we think is brilliant. And it's today we've done it, and it's rubbish, and it's like we've seen the truth.
Oh, yeah, it might be. See, yeah, so an alcohol can
It's
make...
just not as interesting or entertaining as we thought.
See, yours could be BSE as well, though, because I know
There's
you're
a lot
worried
of that
about that.
kicking in, I think.
Yeah, because you just ate beef, didn't you, for the first 15 years?
Largely just beef, yeah.
Beef and milk.
Mainly uncooked. It was just, you know, they just wheel a cow
Often
in.
from the cow.
Yeah, just suckle it from the cow.
Now we get complaints about that.
We will indeed. I always wondered if Bruno Brooks ever got complaints, actually. When he once played Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name of,
Yeah.
and he must have dozed off or something, because he didn't realise all the swearing, you know, F you, I won't do what you told me, and he just left it playing.
He probably wasn't
And
listening.
it was the UK top 40, and it was just, you know...
He probably, yeah,
fun
of course,
bugging
he
over it.
probably did get complaints.
Where is he now?
Good point, doing internet radio, which is, of course, where we'll be next week.
Yeah, if we buck our ideas up.
Quick question.
Go on.
I just realised who Carl looks like. Moby.
He does.
Not the first person to say
Yeah,
that.
suddenly just dawned on me then.
Yeah.
So if people are
Moby's one of those
listening-
people that I think is fantastic. Every time I see him, everything he says I agree with. He's lovely, and I just can't get into his music. It's bad. It's like I feel that it's like a mate you can't say, oh, I give it up, because I think he's fantastic, and I want to go, why don't you do something else?
For more
I bored
interesting
myself.
views-
I bored myself then.
If you've
This
got a pop star that you'd like Ricky Gervais to pass comment on, why not get in touch?
Yeah, that's
Rick, what are your views
Go
on
on.
Rick Witter from Shed 7?
Rick Witter, I like their effort.
Okay.
I think he's quite, got a nice hair.
What about Chakademus and Pliers?
What was their hit?
Tease me, tease me, tease me. Anyway, more of that next time, I'm sure.
Oh, that's it.
Are we straight to the song for the ladies now? or
Yeah,
have we
song
got-
for ladies. Yeah,
Should we just get it over with?
Yeah, let's knock it this on the head.
Song for the ladies this week, one of the best tracks on Hour of the Bewilderbeast by Badly Drawn Boy. It's, of course, Magic in the Air for all the ladies.
Bye. Sorry about that. We're gonna really be good
Gonna
next
sing
week.
happy birthday, or?
Happy birthday to you. But no, we're gonna start work on next week's show.
Really, from then on, it'll be year zero.
Half Light by Athlete on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl,
Right.
2 o'clock. Let's get Rockbusters rolling.
I should just, if people aren't familiar with Rockbusters, then someone has actually sent in one of their own to test Carl. They've used, I think, the same principle that Carl has, which is, you know, utterly random.
Yeah.
Well, as you said before, you know,
Tenuous.
really just try
Not
and
really
think of
cryptic.
something
Yeah.
that he might
sure,
be thinking of.
Sure.
So, I'm gonna, I mean, she's done it quite coherently, but I'm wondering if I should sort of say it more as Carl might say it, you know, just slightly less.
Well, different every time.
Yeah, slightly less coherent. So, Carl, this is one for you, alright?
Go on.
You know, it's Sunday morning. You know, I'm just, you know, I'm in bed, but I'm not asleep. You know, but like Hollyoaks is on, the omnibus, I'm just watching that, you know. I go and make a lovely cup of tea, you know, I'm in the bed with Suzanne, aren't I, having a cup of tea.
What's going on there?
Just watching the telly and that, but hang on, I haven't got anything to dunk in me, in my tea. I haven't got anything to dunk in my tea, have I? You know what I mean? I haven't got anything to dunk in there, and I'm just having, you know, what am I doing?
Is it
What's-
LB?
It's LR.
Oh.
LR. So, have a think about that one, Carl.
I think I know it.
Yeah?
Do ya?
Go for it.
Go on.
Is it Lionel Richie?
It is Lionel
Sort of.
Richie. What's your logic?
Sort of Lionel, and it's like...
No rich tea. No rich tea.
Yeah.
No biscuits, no rich tea. Lion, no rich tea.
I think we...
Lionel Rich tea. Lionel Richie. It works.
We've
It's
done one-
just
we've
as
done one a
coherent
bit
as one of
like
yours.
it.
What's that?
We've done one a little bit like it. There's nothing wrong with that.
I cannot believe you got it.
That's a toaster.
I cannot believe you got it.
I might not have got it without the initials, but that's why we chucked them in, just to help you along. So,
Right, so what have you got for us
right,
this
so
week?
we've got 3 of them.
Oh,
We've got-
by the way, don't bother calling in Kate Bush, because Carl doesn't want to answer the phones. He says Kate Bush is not going to call, so it's all going to be nutters, so we apologise. He's got one thing to do. He didn't even get the sound right, because someone's complaining about they couldn't hear Steve. He's got to do Monkey News, which is always twaddle, and he won't even answer the phones now, so I don't know why he gets paid. He takes off Mondays, because he
I don't.
works Saturdays. He
I
gets
don't.
paid for Saturdays. He takes 5 weeks
Not off
holiday a
Mondays.
year.
Not off
and,
Mondays anymore.
and he moans.
Not off Mondays.
Well,
Right,
what have you got for us?
right then, the first one. There's a vehicle that sells kebabs. Right? There's a vehicle that sells kebabs. Initial D. Right? D.
Great.
Right? We worked that one out?
Of course I haven't.
Right, the second one. You're asked if you want that bit of the egg.
You what?
You're asked if you want that bit of the egg. You
Yeah.
think about it, but we sort of decide against it.
And again?
What's going on there? You're asked if you want that bit of the egg. You think about it, but you go, nah, go against it. Right?
I've got it. Is
So
it is initials W Y O?
Yeah.
Got it.
Right, so...
Okay.
That one works.
Right.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
And the last one, I don't think this burger will catch on.
I don't think this burger will catch on.
Yeah, and the letter there is M. So you just text or email in with the answers and win some stuff. What have we got?
We've got some prizes. We've got another box set of the League of Gentlemen.
This is instant gratification, but you go into a draw for something bigger. So what have we got today?
Yeah, well, today, this is what you're taking home today. You've got the League of Gentlemen, the complete collection on DVD. That's that's worth having, definitely. We've got Catterick, which is the current Vic and Bob show on BBC Two, which is good. The Aviator, the award-winning Leonardo DiCaprio, Martin Scorsese biopic, and once again, Ladder 49.
We're giving that away again, are we?
Yeah. Apparently, got.
Can we get a job like those?
We got loads of them. We got boxes of stacks of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent. So
Email in if you just want a copy of Ladder 49. I'm sure we could dig one out for you.
yeah. Or phone in, because Carl does not answer the phones.
Right.
And remember, the winner goes forward into the chance to win the big prizes, the signed Homer drawing, the signed Nigel Tufnell poster, and you go to rickygervais.com and see Matt Groening actually drawing that to verify it. But Lloyd Cole won't. Never wrote anyone, has it? Has it? It's what they're waiting for, it's the Rockbuster dancers.
That's right.
Right.
Okay, give us the clue, give us the answer.
Right then, first one.
Hurry up,
was-
because we haven't got long for monkey news.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. First one. There's a vehicle over there that's
It's changed.
selling kebabs.
Oh, it's changed, go on.
Initial D.
Yeah, what is it?
That was Donovan.
Okay.
Alright, yeah, okay.
Yeah. That
Good.
worked.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Second
That's a
one.
real clue.
Well, they got it. Like they always do, so they're always real clues. Second one. You're asked if you want that bit of the egg, right? You think about it. Then you decide against it.
I think I know this one. What was the initial again?
Y-O.
Is this, John Lennon's, wife, Yoko Ono?
Yeah, that's right.
I think that was her name, Yoko Ono, was it?
Yeah, it's Yoko No.
that was-
It was Yoko No.
No, you've got it
no.
wrong. You're thinking about it. You're asked if you want a bit of the egg.
Yeah.
You go, yolk. You think about it. Oh no.
Oh, so you say it twice, you stutter. So
No,
it's
no.
Yoke, oh no.
No, you did it
No, her
wrong.
name's Yoko Ono, though.
Yeah, Yoko
Yeah.
Ono. Listen to the clue again.
Okay, no.
Listen to the clue.
So what you say is, do you want this bit of the egg? You think, oh, the other bit. No. Yolk, oh no. Yolk,
right.
oh no. Yolk, oh no. Yolk, oh, no. Oh, yolk. Yeah, go on, brilliant. Yeah, okay, yeah, Yoko, no, yeah, go on.
Works
Yeah,
perfect.
next, yeah.
And the last one was, I don't think this burger will catch on. That was, initial M.
Yeah.
McFly. Right? So, there's your three clues. There's your three answers.
It won't catch on.
Well, who'd want to eat that? You know what I mean? It's like a Mac burger or whatever. Mac chicken. McFly.
Lloyd Cole, Impossible Girl, on XFM 104.9. Wow.
Rick, I'm just reading an email we've had, and it is indeed true. Scores of naked cyclists will be wheeling around London today in a mass protest against oil dependency. The World Naked Bike Ride will see the arresting sight of up to 200 daring riders bearing all in their cycle past some of the capital's most famous landmarks.
Have they got to wear an helmet? Are they against wearing an helmet?
Well, I think they're trying to make a statement, I would imagine, I don't know.
Well, they don't have to wear a helmet. It's not law to wear a helmet on a bike, is it? It's for your own safety. It's sensible, you're right, yeah.
Well, it's also sensible to just pop some pants on. Pop some pants on.
Are you
Not a
going
problem.
to be popping down there and cheering them on?
I'm not going anywhere near it. What are they going against? What's the problem that's going on?
Oil dependency. I think, generally we're consuming too much oil, aren't we, in the world, and it's going to run out one day, and we've not got any alternatives.
Talking of campaigns and things and that, did you see
Sir Bob on Jonathan Ross last night.
Sir Bob Geldof.
Sir Bob Geldof.
Yeah.
You going to walk to Edinburgh or sail to France, Carl? What do you think of all this? The G8.
I think it's good that he's doing some stuff for the world and what have you, but I probably won't bother
No.
having a walk.
What do you make of all this campaigning? You know, he's dedicated his life to this now, hasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I was watching him last night, and I respect the man. I mean, he used to work here, didn't he? Did some shows and that. It's good. It's all right that he can do it, but
I assume that's not why you respect him. I assume you respect him because he's trying to save a nation, as opposed to used to work in XFM for a while.
yeah, I know. But I'm just saying it's good that he's given up a lot of his time to try and save the world and that, but. There's a bit of me that's kind of like, is he wasting his time a bit? You know what I mean?
Right, what do you mean wasting his time?
Well, he tried it before and...
No, wait. What he's trying to say is that the G8 are I think the 7 most rich, wealthy nations in the world, and Russia, and they get together and they can wipe out the third world debt. I.e. they owe us billions and billions of pounds, they can't afford to pay it back. So he's going to say let's wipe the slate clean and pledge, I think, a lot more aid and stuff to them, isn't it? So what do you think of that?
But won't they just do it again?
Right, what's you thinking?
No, I just mean...
I knew I had a little diamond in the rough here. I mean, obviously, I admit, I brought this up because I really wanted to know what Carl thought of it.
Sure.
Yeah, I had ulterior motives. It wasn't just for awareness, for the very worthy cause. It was because I know. Look at him looking at me. Look at him, he looks at me like a cat. Honestly, it's like there's nothing behind those eyes. Right, what do you mean?
They're just gonna run up the debt again, you think?
Well, what I mean is, right, when I was a kid, right, and I wanted to go to the arcade, I'd borrow £1 off my mum, right, and she'd say, don't come back asking for more and what have you. But I'd have a go on a pinball machine or whatever, game on a fruity, and then go back, and she'd go, can I have some more money? And she goes, have you ever £1 before? And I go, I know, but I'm on holiday, and she goes, there you go then. And then I go off and do the same thing. I didn't go, no, I wasted the last one, I'm going to pop this in the bank.
Right.
So you think that's what's going to happen with...
That's a nice metaphor. So what do you think happening there? Is the Africans are blowing it down the arcade? Instead of putting it towards a fishing rod, they're blowing it down the arcade. I'm trying to win a watch. Look, I've got 100 goals. I think this thing is dodgy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to win a fluffy toy.
That's what Bob said, you're never going to get the Snoopy.
You're never going to get the
It's always
Snoopy.
going to fall out of the little claw
It's
before it
rigged.
gets to
The
the top.
claw is not strong enough.
Yeah.
Do not waste it. No, Midge.
Midge, we have to write a song.
Write another song, mate. They've blown it down the arcade. Brilliant.
So that's your genuine logic, is it?
Well, I just don't know, if they put me in charge of it, I don't know what I'd do. I just think it's a...
Could I just say that will never happen?
No.
Could I just say to London,
Yeah.
and anyone listening on
Sleep
Saturday, yeah, don't worry, Carl is not going to be put in charge of G8. It's not going to be him, Blair. Chirac.
That would be
Brilliant.
a joy if it were.
That would be amazing.
But anyway, so let's assume in some alternate universe you are in charge.
What would you do?
Monkeys, obviously, it's like Planet of the Apes. What are you going to do? You're the only person with opposable thumbs. What's your solution?
We've done a lot of it, haven't we? We've sent, money out there. We've sent them clothes and that.
Yeah.
Have
you?
It's gone.
You say we, have you sent...
I've done loads for charity.
Go on.
No, loads. I've done loads of stuff.
Go on. What?
Oh, I give stuff to Oxfam.
Yeah? What stuff you don't want anymore?
Yeah, junk, you mean?
Well, yeah, but it'll be alright for them. I mean, I said to you the other day, like, when they collect clothes for over there, I don't know, none of my stuff's gonna fit them well. It's tricky though, I seem to be surrounded by people like that. Remember that film, that Sliver or something?
Okay, right.
When they've got video cameras.
Yeah.
I'm just looking onto everybody's world and just seeing what people are getting up to. There's nothing wrong with that.
Brilliant.
That's why I like washing up.
We were talking about famous mantras and sayings and things.
Yeah.
Never has a Manc said so much to so many that means so little.
Brilliant.
So you can have that on your headstone. Rupert.
Your little round headstone.
Rupert's in the Isle of Man. He says, I don't know if you knew this, Carl, but apparently octopus's testicles are located in their heads.
Yeah. But then, to me, that isn't that amazing, because at the end of the day, an octopus, really, all it is an head.
So everything it's got has to be in the
It has
head.
to be in the head. It looked daft if they dangled down below. Right? So all it is, I mean, there's a lot
Hang
of
on,
facts.
it looked daft if they dangled down below. I'm wondering, but that could almost be the B-side to
B-side to
Knob at Night.
I could eat a knob at night.
James Round says, Carl, if you could be anyone in the world, who would it be?
Dead or alive?
Why would you choose to be a dead person?
No, but sometimes, like, there's people who are now dead, but everybody raves about them. What I mean is, if...
Oh, just answer the question. Who would you be and why? It's someone you admire or you think had a good life. Just answer the
But
question.
what I mean is, it's good to be remembered, like Winston Churchill is remembered as being a decent bloke, but I wouldn't want the hassle that he had. So I don't want to live his life,
Right.
but it's good to be...
You'd like to be Winston Churchill, but you'd like to have a paper round instead of...
Saving the world.
yeah.
Well, that's what I mean, but is he saying whose job would I want to take on?
It's not that complicated.
The question is this: if he could be anyone in the world, who would Carl be? That's the question. That's all the information I've got.
A lot of responsibility on a lot of jobs, isn't there?
So, some of the names flowing through your head now?
I was thinking Bruce Willis.
I never expected that! I never expected that!
So his responsibility in your mind is what? Saving people who are trapped in a building with terrorists?
Well, yeah, maybe, you know, his worries are different worries. With, you know, people who have a lot of money come other worries.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So Bruce Willis, he's always going on these marches, isn't he, saying stop war and all that. Mainly because he's got, you know, he's got more to lose if there's a war. He's got loads of houses. One of them's going to get damaged. Whereas if you're poor, you've got the one house. If there's a war, it's like, oh, just end it all for me then. I'm sick of it anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
So
Whereas Bruce, yeah.
With successful life and happy life, there's more for you to lose, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like at the moment, because I've finished a job that I've been at for 10 years, right? I've finished working there, so suddenly I've got my timetable's a bit out, and I haven't got enough of a routine, and I'm a man who likes to know what I'm doing. Right?
Yeah.
So now suddenly
5 until 7, washing up with no thumbs.
I've sort of turned into like an old person, where the little jobs that you shouldn't enjoy are now the main event. So
But hold
like,
on, how old are you? You're 31, aren't you?
32.
32, and you're pottering around, not knowing what to do with yourself.
Well, like yesterday, Suzanne's shoes needed to go to the cobblers, right?
I haven't heard the word cobbler.
I didn't even know cobblers still existed.
I only ever see that in Christmas films made by Disney.
Well, I had to go and do that, and that suddenly...
Because last time you were going to the toffee shop. And now you're going to the cobblers. Next week it's the candlestick maker.
But all I mean is that suddenly is a nice little day out. I'm sort of putting my coat on, going, right, I'll go and see the cobbler now and go and have a chat.
Tell me about the cobbler.
You didn't come back with 3 magic beans, did you?
No, the cobbler's all right. He's doing, he's fixing
Cobbling.
shoes and that.
He's cobbling all day.
Have I told you about my Uncle Alf, who was a cobbler?
No?
I'm sure I told you about him. He's the one who, he lived in like a bed sit, and he had 2 tellies. He had like one that the sound didn't work on, and one that the picture didn't. But both together, it worked.
Oh, right, okay.
So as long as he was watching the same channel on both, sound came out of one telly, and he'd watch the picture on the other.
Brilliant.
And he slept in like a rubber dinghy, right? But he was.
Whoa! You can't just let that slide. Why did he sleep in a rubber dinghy?
He just liked boats and stuff, and he sort of.
Yeah, I like boats, but they're better on the water. Beds are better to sleep on. Boats are better to sail on.
Well, he just had it in there. It's a bed set. It was really tight space.
Boat sit.
He's got this.
It's moved into a dinghy
He's
sit.
got this dinghy, so he's thinking, well, rather than it get in the way, I might as well use it.
Yeah.
Right? But he was a cobbler, and he used to like repair like my shoes and that, right?
Yeah.
But he'd always sort of overdo them, right? So
What do you mean?
like,
Fancy.
do you know like Pimp My Ride on MTV?
Yeah.
Because he does up shoes, he'd go mental on them.
What do you mean? There was the stereo.
Yeah.
Well, no,
There was horns.
He'd sound,
Here
Go
comes
faster
Carl
stripes down the side.
Yeah, here comes Mr. Pilkington. He's got the fastest shoes in the land.
Well, it just makes shoes that would last forever. So instead of putting like one sole on he'd put about 5 on. So it looked like one of them built-up shoes that you never see. He'd just put loads of stuff on. They'd last forever. But they did.
But they look like
I was-
orthopaedic shoes.
Yeah, yeah. It just like suddenly I was like 6'7" whenever he'd sort of sorted my shoes out. But he's a cobbler, and you know it's work. That's always there for you, isn't it?
I suppose so.
So you went out with to take Suzanne's shoes to the cobbler.
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, so I just took them to the cobblers and that was like a nice little job for the day. I got a leaflet through the door saying, you know, if you want to walk a dog, you know, the rates are good. I don't know what they pay and that. And I thought if I do that and get a paper round, 2 in 1.
Sorry, you just went from a job, right, where you were the head of production at a radio station, dare I say it, on... can I discuss your...
Well, it was an all right wage. Yeah.
It was very good.
But I wasn't happy, so it's pointless.
No, I know that, but to go from the head of a department on a lot of money to walking dogs and doing a paper round, I don't know.
No, but it's about being happy, isn't it?
I know, but that's commendable if that's true, but... okay.
And
all
that
right.
makes you happier.
Well, I haven't walked the dog yet, but I'm just saying if I do... I mean, I'm not taking it if it's raining. I'm just thinking if it's a nice sunny day and I fancy a potter, I'll go round to her and say, well, how much are you paying? I'll take the dog a walk and stuff.
But I can't believe some of the words that have cropped up. Potter, cobblers, toffee shop. It's very, very strange.
Do you live in Narnia?
A lot of people are sort of emailing in sort of brainy stuff
Brilliant.
and getting a lot of stuff about philosophy
Oh, yeah.
and all that. Descartes, that's another one that's mentioned on an email.
Descartes,
Yeah.
the French philosopher.
Yeah.
What's your question?
Well, he sort of cropped up on an email. Someone said, what do you think of him? And I was like, oh, I don't know.
He famously he pondered his own existence. Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. He was thinking about that. He was thinking, how do I know all this is true, everything around me? And he thought, well, I can see it and I can smell it and I can hear it. And he went, oh yeah, my senses can be fooled. I could be dreaming. But if I'm dreaming, then at least I'm alive. At least I have some sort of consciousness. So if I'm even thinking about anything, you know, I exist. I think, therefore I am. Cogito ergo sum.
But we don't need to know the Latin bit. Why is everyone always going back to Latin? It was ages ago. Why is that language always being... And were Latin people always in a rush? Because they seem to be like words for full sentences. Why couldn't they just take the time and say what they want to say? And it's just like, what was the rush?
to teach Latin.
What about Plato?
Right, Greek.
Right, now, would you say he's a bright bloke?
Yes, I would. I'd say he's a very, very bright bloke.
Right, let me tell you this. Right, if he's that bright, you know how he got killed?
No.
Got hit on the head by an egg.
Fucking hell! Well, he's not so clever then, is he?
That's what I'm saying.
Boo!
What's the story with the egg?
He was on holiday or something, right? And
He was on holiday.
In Greece, probably.
he was having a walk about, and a bird was flying over the sort of.
This
over the
bird
beach.
was what? A great auk? What size bird killed him with his egg?
It was a big one, yeah.
Was it?
And the way they used to crack
An ostrich on a hang glider.
the eggs open to let the kids out, they used to drop them on rocks.
What bird is this? Dropping its egg to let the kids out? You are a maniac! You are a maniac!
And Plato had a little bald head.
Right.
So from the top, the bird's there looking down, and it goes, oh, there's a little rock, I'll drop the egg. Hit him on the head, killed him. Now, this is what I was saying before about...
I'm letting too much go now, because I'm so desensitised to his nonsense. I let him go. The bird saw Plato and said, there's a rock down there.
Yeah. Well, if these birds are killing people with bald heads, you've got to be terrified.
So, but listen, this is what I'm saying, though, right? Before about knowledge and that, how knowledge is hassle, or success is hassle.
I think that was Newton. Knowledge is hassle.
Now, but why is Plato's intelligence got anything to do with the fact that this bird dropped an egg on his head?
Because he was intelligent, and he's probably earning a nice few quid by giving out whatever messages he gave out.
Yeah.
He could afford to go on holiday to exotic places. if he was working in a factory, he wouldn't have been on this beach with big birds dropping eggs, is what I'm saying. So, in a way, it backfired. His knowledge killed him.
And that, I think, was Kierkegaard. His knowledge killed him.
He shouldn't have been on the beach. He was only there having a break or whatever from doing what he does. It wouldn't have happened if he wasn't on holiday.
You know, talking about your parents listening, Carl, it was in Heat this week, and they mentioned that he does this thing on Sky. What is it?
It was this thing with Richie Bacon, some programme about watching telly, and you just talk about what you're watching and that.
And he was annoyed because he said because his parents are there, and so he's not doing it. He's not going to turn up because they mentioned it in Heat.
And so his parents might watch.
Yeah.
Why are you worried about that?
I don't like him watching stuff, do I? I told you. It dates back to when I did Little Donkey at school. I don't want people watching me.
What's that? Just renew us on Little Donkey? What happened?
It was just, you know, I was there to play the drums and that in We Three Kings. I was loving it, you know. I got a bit carried away.
How old were you?
About 13,
Yeah.
right?
Really?
Probably.
Yeah.
About 10, no, about 10 probably.
Yeah. Go on.
6.
Between 6 and
Where old were you? What school were you at?
Okay, you were playing Little Donkey.
Yeah.
So, and,
No,
No,
you
but it
must-
was one of them schools where everyone sort of was in the same one. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, a Manchester school.
What
the one
do you
classroom.
mean?
Well, it's like you.
What, sweeping chimneys in the day and then 1 hour of learning? What are you talking about? What school were you at? Was it infants, junior or
They
secondary?
didn't really do that. It was
What
one
do
way.
What do you
You
mean?
didn't do
You
that.
did that. They still have to abide by the laws of the land in Manchester.
No, but it was a lot more like you had infants, but
Yeah.
you also had like the older lot. There's kids there who, when you're in the younger year and that, you'd see kids and you go, "Is that?"
Talk English and use terms that people do when they're talking about schooling.
I don't even want to talk about this.
No, how old were you? What oh.
I'm guessing maybe 6 or 7 or 8.
So you went from 13 to 6?
Yeah, but like I say, it's hard to remember because
Imagine if you were giving evidence in a trial.
Yeah. How old were you? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I can't really narrow it down other than 7 years either way.
You know, theoretically,
Yeah.
he could get called up for jury service. Right.
White Stripes, hardest button to button on XFM. That's a frightening thought that you came up with before the break. That
Carl on jury service.
Carl could be responsible for
Yeah.
someone's rest of their life.
Yeah. Because jury service, that applies to anyone. Anyone could get sent the form. I think you're obliged to go unless you have a really decent reason not to.
Imagine it was a really, really important trial.
But what annoys me is that isn't it supposed to be you're tried by 12
Good
of
men
your
and true.
peers?
12 good men
and true.
Yeah.
Good men and true.
But, and women, of course.
The only
these
thing
days.
I can hope is that the defence attorney would wheedle out Carl at an early stage.
Oh yeah, objection. I object.
Yeah.
Why?
I object. Have you heard of something called Rockbusters?
Yeah. Well, sorry, you can't just object on that. Okay, then what if I tell you my client, standing trial, is a little gay Chinese fella? And here are some of the tapes
Yeah.
from XFM.
My
What would you
suspicion
do?
is he's prejudiced.
So how does it work then?
How does what work?
What do you mean? You just get called up and you have to do jury service unless you've got a very good reason.
And it's not, I normally have Mondays off.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you wouldn't like that.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, or
you have to get there at 9
I've got to
o'clock.
prepare monkey news.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you couldn't stand it.
Just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't
What would you say?
say, oh, don't get me involved. Because I got involved once.
Don't get me involved!
No,
What do you mean you got involved once?
well, with the police and that, when I lived in Manchester, I saw a bit of car crime going on.
Right.
And I got involved. Hassle. Telling you.
How did you get involved? You phoned the police?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I
Snitch.
thought, well, I know, well, that's just it. But I thought, I'd hope somebody did
Grass.
it with my, well.
Yeah.
So, and it's just a hassle. Loads of phone calls.
Canary.
Having to stand on a balcony of this, tower block that I lived in. Police shouting up at me. I'm stood there with my underpants on, right? And what it was, a car had been robbed, right? So I call up the police and that,
Yeah.
right? Said, right, listen, car's been robbed. And they said, where is it? I said, I don't know, just across the road from where I live, right? So I tell them where I live. And
Where
they
do
go-
you live? How old were you? 13?
So she's asking loads of questions and that. I'm saying, look, whilst you're asking all this, they're actually getting away, so, will we leave it? And she's like, no, we'll track it down, blah, blah, blah. So I said, well, look, I work nights.
What could you see? You could see
I
some
could
lads
see some lads
just
pushing a car.
pushing a car.
Yeah.
That's how they steal cars in Manchester, is it?
Yeah.
Everywhere else in the country, they're getting in, they're driving them away.
In the south, they drive them away.
Exactly.
You usually sort of like
In
start the
Manchester.
engine. You get away a lot faster. What do the police do? Push their panda car after them.
Exactly.
Say, come on lads, don't cheat, don't get in the car. They're just pushing it.
It was late at night and that, and I
Oh,
suppose
okay.
you don't want to start the engine
Of course you
they'll
want to
look
wake
out the
people
window,
up, not when you're
right?
nicking cars. Of course you don't.
Alright,
No,
so,
no.
so is it
Late
working
at
for
night?
you?
Hold on, they weren't
They were
gay.
wheeling
They
it to
weren't
the
gay,
bus
were
stop.
they? They were out late, really? Come on, Carl, so what happened?
So, anyway, I said, look, don't call me back. I'm going to bed, right? I've got work in a bit.
Brilliant.
So,
Let's go, what?
so that was that, right?
Where were you working?
Next thing, right? Phone's going. Hello, it's the police again. I said, oh, I told you not to call me. Right?
I told you not to call me at home.
So, they said, right, the police are outside. Can you go on your balcony? She's like, oh. So I'm 10 stories up, right? Stood on the balcony with like my underpants on.
Yeah.
Right? And the police are saying, where's the car? And I'm saying, I don't know, they've gone down that road now. So I'm trying to point to them. They're shouting up, saying which road and all that. And I just thought, why did they get involved?
Yeah.
I don't think they found it.
No.
It was hassle.
The
you know what I mean?
blokes were pushing it too fast.
Exactly.
They were in the next street by now, weren't
But
they?
this, don't get involved. Don't get in. After that,
Imagine him being on some sort of trial where it's like some sort of mob affair.
Yeah, gangland murder.
Imagine him going into the witness protection. The police just explaining to him, your new name is Jeffrey Peters.
Why can't I be called Bruce Wayne?
Well, no, Mr. Pilkington, listen. Imagine that. Do you know what witness protection is?
oh, go on.
Amazing.
Look, it's when, supposing you were to give evidence against the mafia, right? You've done a job for them and you had to give evidence against them, right? Cause
Right, well, if you're going to do... I mean, all I did was 2 kids nicking a car.
Yeah.
Don't start messing with mafia.
No, listen, of course not, no. But imagine you were in the mafia, and that you got caught doing something, but instead of going to prison for the rest of your life, you said, oh, well, I can give you Mr. Big, yeah? So they go, okay, give us Mr. Big and we'll let you off, right? So the police go, right, okay.
I got handed this leaflet in Soho.
So you say, okay, well, I'll give you names. They go, right, we get evidence in court, and you go, yeah. They go, right, we'll have to get you away because you'll be done for. So you give us all the names of Mr. Big, right? We'll give you a new identity, a new passport. We'll let you go and live in Canada for the rest of your life with Suzanne, right?
So why have I got to do all that?
Because they'll bump you off, won't they?
How did you know it was me?
They'll find
Because
out.
you have to give evidence in court. So they go, oh, Pilkington squealed.
So you got to change all your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
They've killed someone, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, look, you just know, no, you're giving them in to keep you from going to jail. So you don't want to spend the rest of your life in prison because you're involved in something, or sorts, or whatever. It doesn't matter, Carl!
No,
listen!
how would the mafia know that I've said something?
Because you say in court, those are the people, he's Mr. Big, he's Mr. So-and-so, he ordered the hit. Don't you know anything?
It's a lot of messing around though, isn't it?
But...
So I've got to leave this job, yeah?
Yeah, I think they might try XFM first.
I'd have to... What, I'd have to bin Suzanne, would I?
No,
No, you
she'd
can take
go
her
and
with
live
you.
with you.
You have to cut off all your ties with your friends and family, though. You can't contact them. You got to leave them behind.
Would she have to change her haircut?
Possibly.
When did the murder happen?
Yeah. What would the new identity be that you choose? What would you choose for yourself?
What name?
Probably, I wanted to be called Brett when I was a kid.
Okay.
Right. Brett what?
Brett Pilkington.
You got to change your surname, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe go X-Directory.
Where would you move to?
Probably back up north.
No.
Well, no.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Can I suggest, maybe, Brett Hanson, and go and live in Australia or Canada or something. Well, maybe when they're not operating, maybe, you know, and they just forget it.
You might have to change your identity as well. You might have to grow your hair. Well, you can't grow your hair, but maybe wear a
Maybe,
wig or a
yeah.
moustache.
What would you do? What would you wear?
So like an afro or something.
Something like that.
That would be brilliant. That would be
And I've got
absolutely
to do
brilliant.
all that just because for 5 minutes I stood in a court thing
Yes.
and said he's the one who did it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, why can't I just wear the afro and the glasses when I'm in the court? Say my name's Brett, right?
Yeah.
Change my voice a bit. He did it, and they go, thanks very much. I go off, I carry on my life,
That's
I still come in
genius,
here
that
on
is.
Saturday.
I don't know why they haven't thought
That
of that.
is genius. I
That
don't.
discounts all the witness protection scheme.
Why don't they do that?
Yeah.
So they go, well, I'll go to court as Brett Hanson
Yeah.
with an afro, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
Right, and then when I come out, I'm back to Carl Pilkington, still talking like that, but without the afro. That is perfect. You've got. Why don't you call the FBI and say, listen, I can save you billions of dollars a year? You're a genius, Carl.
All right. Well done.
Or Brett, should I say?